Let's bring in now the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau of Central New England, Alex Guardiola. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks, Hank. Thanks for having us. Welcome back from vacation.
Yeah. No, and I'm glad to really just jump back in and get right into the swing of things. Who said there used to be a summer slowdown in July? I will have you know, boy, not this year. I'm so pleased that you have brought to us a great restoration business, Bluefrog of Springfield Plumbing and Drain. Tell us a little bit about this. Now, obviously, Bluefrog is an accredited business of the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah, so obviously part of the the mission of the Better Business Bureau of Central New England is to really also kind of promote our accredited businesses, because we want, again, businesses to do business with good businesses, as well as consumers to do business with good businesses. So we brought today Bob Couture, who's the owner of Restoration One of Springfield and Bluefrog of Springfield, and I'd love for him to just jump right in and talk about what it is that their company does and why they're accredited, and again, why the benefits of being an accredited business are so plentiful. And but to hear it from me all the time doesn't resonate all the time. But to have it, a real company that actually does the good work and really does want to be a part of the fabric of the community is why we invited Bob on.
Absolutely, Bob. I'll have you bring that mic right up close, and then tell us a little bit about yourself and how do we get the name Bluefrog?
Yeah, well, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Hank. Thanks for having me here today. So I'm honored to have two companies that are Better Business Bureau accredited, and both of them are also franchises. So Bluefrog Plumbing and Drain and Restoration One are two franchises. So I didn't come up with the name, but I own those two businesses out of Springfield, Massachusetts.
Wonderful. All right, I love it. Now, how did you get into owning these two businesses?
That's a great question, Hank. I started off in the property management business, and I was a victim of owning apartments from owning apartments and managing apartments. I was victims of fires. We had fires in apartments. We had floods. We suffered from mold, and then that's on the restoration side. And then just come to think of all the kind of plumbing issues that you'd have with apartments and managing buildings. So I started off with restoration, and then the natural tie-on to that was plumbing.
All right, well, let's go back to Restoration One then, as you got that started kind of growing out. All these businesses grew out of each other. That's interesting for what you did. Tell us about Restoration One specifically and what you do.
Yes, so Restoration One, we launched in 2022, the summer of 2022, and that is a business for water, fire, and mold remediation, and then reconstruction.
Now, you said you're out of Springfield, but do you go all around?
Yep, Western Mass and Central Mass. We don't go as far out as Boston. There's other Bluefrog there and Restoration One. So we don't tread on our fellow franchisees' territory, but yep, we're here in Western and Central Mass.
All right, so you start Restoration One, and then out of Restoration One, you say, hey, plumbing and drain needs to fit into this equation as well. Tell us about what Bluefrog of Springfield does.
Yeah, so Bluefrog came about with the restoration company. I needed a plumber to stop the source of the leak. I called about a dozen plumbers that were advertising as emergency service plumbers. Not a single one picked up. Not a single one called me back the next day. So I think there's a business here with plumbing. And then that's been a huge referral source back and forth between the plumbing company and restoration and vice versa.
Alex, I was just going to say, and I'm willing to bet too, with the Better Business Bureau, among all the accredited businesses, I'm sure there's a lot of business to business.
Absolutely. And, we talk about that all the time. I don't think people recognize the fact that businesses have to also have merchants and vendors to be able to kind of do business with. And I think, what Bob is talking about with restoration and plumbing with Bluefrog, I think they go hand in hand, right? I think that, as you mentioned, you have to sometimes find the source of the leak. And, if you don't get to that point, what's the point of doing the restoration, right? It's just going to go right back to it. So I think it's a great model to be able to utilize both companies to do the job on site all at once. So I think, just another example of a good accredited business that really wants to do the right stuff.
As Bob said, both businesses are accredited with the BBB, and you just mentioned, a good accredited business. What does that mean, Alex, to be an accredited business for the Better Business Bureau?
Yeah, and I think we talked about it in the past. But what happens is when you apply, it's not just swiping a card and you're a part of the Better Business Bureau. We do a whole vetting process. So we do an investigation into the company, into the owner, just ensuring that we have good quality owners and companies being part of our community. So when Bob joined with both companies, we did a whole vetting process, and it goes through a whole system. We have investigators at the BBB that do a background on all of it, and then it goes in front of our board, so the board has to vote it on. So again, it's not just pay to play. It's really a whole process to again ensure that we have good quality businesses that become accredited.
Bob, why'd you decide to become accredited?
That's a really easy one, Hank, because the BBB accreditation is the most trusted and significant one in business. And to piggyback on Alex's point of both companies were scrutinized and validated. So when someone goes to the BBB website, I feel it's like almost getting a referral from a family member. Someone's already validated you and trusted you. And in my businesses, when you've experienced something very horrific, like a fire to your house or a flood, you're looking for the most trusted person and fast.
I wanted to go back to, you talked about Bluefrog, and you started that business in part because of your own frustration in trying to get somebody to do that when you were making some of those calls. What do you think sets Bluefrog and Restoration One apart from others who are in the same business?
Well, that's a really good question. I would say there's a trifecta. The trifecta is having that accreditation. That sets us apart. It's surprising how many plumbing or restoration companies do not have that, haven't been scrutinized or validated like that. Two is their franchises. So although I may have been in business for 2 years, the franchise has been in for decades, and that level of those resources to have with a corporate and fellow franchisees is very strong. And then last, I like to think, too, that as a veteran-owned business, that we get another layer of trust.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alex, all those things certainly play into what the Better Business Bureau does. I'm going to ask you first, Bob, and then Alex, I'll ask you the same thing to maybe talk about some of the other businesses. But that accreditation, I mean, are people really looking for that? Does that really help your business?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. There are two things when someone's looking for you online and quickly is one, your reviews, and then two, your accreditation. And having the Better Business Bureau accreditation is like a referral from a family member.
Well, that's great. And I mean, is that something that people are looking for this?
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk about it all the time that, having that, little check mark or the seal really does show that vote of confidence that there has been a process in place to again make sure that these companies have been doing the right thing. And part of being an accredited business is if there is a complaint for some reason, we go through the process with the accredited business and the complainter, and we can say, we can figure this out. Well, let's find out. And accredited business has to respond. And again, those are the things that really kind of validate a lot of the things that people are worried about. Is this we talk about scams all the time, right? This is a big one. We don't, because of the fact that they're an accredited business, I don't want to say every time because there may be one case in a billion, but there's a very strong likelihood that you're never going to be scammed. If you go to our website, go to the bbb.org, you type in plumbers in our region, guess what? They're going to come up and you're going to see that these folks you can see their reviews right on our website. Again, all these things really add up to showcasing the good quality businesses that we have in the community.
Absolutely. That confidence when you're working with Restoration One or you're working with Bluefrog. Bob, what else do we have to know? And let's make sure that we know how to follow you on social media, how we can get in touch, websites, all that good stuff.
Oh, great. We're at bluefrog.net /Springfield. And then for Restoration One is restoration1, the number one, .com/Springfield.
Very, very good. Anything else we need to know about Bluefrog and Restoration One?
No, just honored to be here. Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Alex.
Of course. Happy to have you.
Alex, I'll let you wrap it up. If people want to find out about all these accredited business and they want to follow, of course, the Better Business Bureau of Central New England.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, of course. Obviously, if you want to get in touch with Bob and his companies, you can go right to our website as well, bbb.org. Obviously, feel free to call us. I say it all the time. We do have bodies in the office. We're not robots back there. 508-755-3340 is the phone number, or we're right in Worcester, 400 Grove Street. Walk on in. We're happy to help you if you're looking for a restoration company or a plumbing company that you can trust. We're happy to kind of refer right over to Bob and his companies.